Hi, how you doing, everybody? It's me, Zacharias, and I'm here to do a video um, regarding multiracial identity, ancestry, geology, how American, the 3K societies, one drop rule, blood quarter, whatever y'all. And I'm gonna try to make this very short so it will not be long because I got things to do. We have an inspection coming up next week, and I'm cleaning everything. And plus, I got some legal situation, not against me, against certain situations that I'm fighting against. That I was a victim of, and hopefully I win. So I'm not going to go into detail of it. But if you follow me, probably know what I'm talking about. But we're not going to go into detail of it, okay? But for this, we're going to talk about multiracial identity, mixed race identity, and identity policing. What is identity policing? Okay, well, people like they have fashion police, they also have identity police. And people who are doing identity police, it happens in the multiracial community and outside. And that comes from where when back in the, it's not very new. It's just a new word we're using, something that's giving definition to. But back in the day, they had a rule that had if you had one drop of black blood, you was considered 100% black. That's why we don't all look like. That's why my complexion don't look black as his hat. But they want to say I'm black. Okay, 100%. Of course, I'm of African descent, but not 100%. Okay, not fully. So, it's no longer a law anymore. People still hold on like it's slavery. I feel like Juneteenth, like we celebrated a couple weeks ago, because people have done their research to realize that that law is no longer a law anymore. When they had 50 years ago, Loving versus Virginia case in June of 1967, when Mildred Loving, Richard Loving won that case to be legalized as interracial marriage in the United States, to legalize interracial marriages, the Supreme Court said in their document that the one drop rule is unconstitutional. So if the one drop rule constitution, that means it is abolished. It's no longer a law. And you have people who was state, and I was debating with someone at the job that I work at before the host was at the rodeo, a dark skin, but we had a game, and a dark skin, but one of the head supervisors who's a kind of church elder type person, but very and he's darker than me, okay? And so, and I'm not trying to stereotype, but I know some are dark skinned people, especially the brothers. When a brother's not too light, but not as dark as them, like myself, they don't like the fact that some of us do not look like them, and we acknowledge our multiracial heritage due to that. And then if it's like they want you to be a ordinary and a clone of them when they're not, and I refuse to go along with that. I'm sorry, I'm like Lena Howard. I don't pay nobody's way, okay? And it's unfair like me, okay? I do what I want to do, and I'm not gonna give nobody their fantasy. I get my own fantasy, I get my own reality. I do my own thing, and people don't like me because I don't do that for them. They the one call me selfish, but they have their own life, so whatever they want in their life, they can do it in their own without anybody, including myself, be part of it, okay? I practice the same thing. So there are people who hold on to the one drop rule because it's about controlling that person. Let me tell you, when the Africans came here to the America, especially the United States, and I can speak on America because I'm still learning about Latin America. Of course, I read about Mexico, about the Afro-Mexicans, but mostly I can relate because I'm from the United States. I relate to the United States. The real reason why that they was called niggas, Negroes, later on colored, black, African American was after slavery and Jim Crow. Those are white racist people's ideology of someone's identity. The Africans that came on the ship did not refer themselves as blacks. They had their own tribal identity. That was their identity. Of course, there was Africans who slaved other Africans and gave their African slaves to the white person in order to get trade. That's very true. But that was white people making their decision. It wasn't the African that came on a ship claiming to be Negro, Nigger, or any other. Okay, that was there. Okay, so what happened was there were race mixing. There one period of time, folks did not realize they were allowing black men to marry white women, especially where part of my ancestry that's white, also that comes from Louisiana, but also in Virginia. Um, funny because Love vs. Virginia, where I found out about my fourth great grandmother was a white woman here in Texas, but her tracing her ancestry, she was related to Nathaniel Bacon. Remember Nathaniel Bacon? At the time, they had white people who were indentured servants, Irish, English, Scottish, whatever, maybe some other European, but most of those, and they were the poor white people, and they was on the same social status as the black slaves. They married black slaves. Barack Obama's mama is a part of that as well. Okay, so she's a sister. Okay, she was. Okay, so yeah, so Barack Obama does have slave ancestry. Okay, his dad is not from here. That's the difference. Okay. And the one she probably was open to marry. You know, they say his parents was her parents were racist, his grandparents, but I don't know. They probably was racist, in my opinion, that they probably knew, and a lot of white folks who are mixed with black, who are not pure black, who know that, who do pass, will act as racist among white people, but know who they are behind closed doors. That does happen, okay? But let's get to the subject. So, I'm the descendant of Sarah Bacon and Edmund Bacon was her father. Sarah Bacon's husband was Samuel Bugg. And not to go into detail my family roots as in who's this and that, but you already know my one of my fourth grandparents on my mama's side, my great-grandfather, excuse me, we call him Red, my grandmother's dad, who's still living, 98 years old, his father's mother, okay, was a white woman, okay? And she was a Bug, okay? That was her last name until she married a college. I'm going to go into detail her last name, okay? And while I was tracing her roots on Insta.com last year, I found out they're from Texas, Alabama. Oh Lord, I got white cousins down there. Hope they're not in the Klan people. They are. Don't come. We don't need to contact each other. Okay, the point. Let's get to the subject. You know, white cousins in Texas, which I do found because one of my adopted Asian cousins is related to. I mean, it's his mama, his white adopted mama is my cousin on my mama's side. Down in family tree, I found it out. But Texas, Alabama, Georgia, and Virginia. Okay. And the real reason why they stopped white people who are indentured servants to not be along with the slaves, because my cousin, long distance cousin, for my long distance white grandma, whatever, I think the 1640, whatever, I have to go back and answer what the number she is to me, Sarah Bacon Bug. Her dad was Edmund Bacon, and also Sarah and Sam Bug, son, which I'm descendant of Edmund Bug, named after her father. They were related to, on the Bacon side of the family. The Bacon side of the family has related to Nathaniel Bacon. Even though I think her brother was Nathaniel Bacon as well, the other side of the family also names, like their family didn't marry, have named after each other sometimes, okay? And it's weird because Edna, my grandmother, she's Ed, which is Ed, okay, and then her, not to go in detail, her son, who's a quadroon, okay, because they said his 9-10 dad, because they said he was Creole, but technically she couldn't be Creole, okay, they had to be the dad, okay, and there are some colleges in Louisiana go in detail, but her son was named Samuel, okay, it's kind of weird how that happened, but in that side of the family, Nathaniel Bacon is my long distant cousin, okay? And he led the Bacon Rebellion, where the black slaves and the white servants got together and burned the Virginia Capitol. They got reelected. Talking about Black Lives Matter. They were worse than what y'all say about riot about Black Lives Matter. Them folks got together and burned the Virginia Capitol down. They beat up the slave masters. They probably got the voodoo of Haiti. Okay. You know what happened with the rebellion, okay, in Haiti, okay, when Haiti beat the French and won his opinion, got rid of slavery, okay, so they did all that. So the white people who was an elite, who had slaves, who were, they created the system to separate the whites and the blacks, because they didn't want the white people to be on the black folks' side to free them from slavery. And they had to stop them from mixing. Even one of the sites, I think her 6th great grandma, whatever, no, her 16th grandma was a white woman who was a indentured servant, who was beaten. Said was how many lashes that she was saying on TV for sleeping with a slave, and then by the condition of the mother, if your mother was free, Just like Barack Obama's mom, white, so Coco White mama, who's mixed actually, who her the first ancestor came on the slave was a slave. The male slave who married a white woman. Okay, you would consider free if your mama was free. Okay, and a lot of folks don't know where the one drop rule comes from, so that's why they had Cocoa Black Negro towns, whatever, before Rosewood and Tulsa. They had, yeah, and then too, even when it came to the slave masters who were white, who was either raping or either in love with their slave mistress, slave mistress means slave, female slaves, both pure ones and mixed ones, they also had wills that allowed their mulatto children to go to have their own education, go to school. That's why the color schools and the HBU schools, black, all that was made for the mulatto children to go to school. A lot of folks do not know their history, okay? So all that, yeah, exactly. That's why the people, we are so proud, many of us who know about this, not ashamed of the mixing, because we're not trying to celebrate the slave master that did the rape. Let's get that scenario straight right now. Actually, they gave us something that they wish they should never gave them. They should have kept the doggone penis. Those who were doing it should have kept the penis in their pants and left the slaves alone in Africa, and shut up and let folks alone. But since they caused that Frankenstein, someone like me is going to be that Frankenstein and expose it. Okay, so we're taking the good out the bad, as and not to bring up religion. It does say in the Bible that in Deuteronomy perfect that God takes the curses out the blessings of the blessings out the curse or something like that. Okay, it changes a curse to a blessing. Okay, so we, since it was a curse to be raped or whatever, be slave, whatever, we are the branches of, no matter how dark or light or how kinky or straight or hair or whatever, how phenotype, we are the ones who are descendants who are to make the change of their generation. A lot of folks don't see it like that, but I do. So since if I am, besides the white woman who married a person of color passing for white, in my family, if I am not in the sense of slave master, it is my job to try to go against that. That's why I bash race play, okay, on my video that I watch, okay? I'm bashing racism. I'm the Frankenstein that you never get. When they call me a racist, of course I'm quick to let you know, excuse me, I do identify as mixed race. I don't identify as pure black. Oh, you're black. Well, as a person with African descent, I know what an African looks like. And yeah, I might have the kinky hair, my big nose, maybe big lips, and a big wide nose. But when I look in the mirror, and I know Africans from Africa, yeah, there are different shades, but there was also Arabian mixing, since Arabians participated in slave trade too, and also introduced Islam. A lot of the Muslims who are African have 19, even the darkest one have some Arab mixture in their family. Also, you have Europeans who did mix there too, and if there were a Buku tribe, and say it like that, there was a lighter. They did not come on ship because documents show that the people that came on ship was much darker. That's why they call them black, due to the extreme dark brown complexion. Negros, as they say in Spanish and Portuguese, and Negro, and then later on to turn to black. Okay, some of my complexion do not match the hat, so why would you call me? You know, if I was living those days. Okay, so point is, so I know that, and all that lies about there's different shades in Africa, those tribes, so these called the Hottentots, whatever, and they did not come on the ship. Let's call it like it is, okay? When people think of Africa people, they think of someone that look like Akon, like Peter Yogo, or you know, Elewig. That's what we think of, and they know that if you are a different shade, 9 out of 10, that's the minority of Africa. That y'all try to point, they try to put the blonde hair. Majority of Africans do not have blonde hair or blue eyes, okay, if they are pure descent. Let's call it like it is, okay? And yet the albino, but not the whole doggone population, looks like that. Stop what they're trying to be more, exaggerate the pure black, false pure black identity that people want to pose in black. The 90, the white man came from, made it up, okay? White racism, man, try to say. So since I'm bringing this up, you want to know why I'm talking about this, because there's so many people uneducated come on my channel who bash me due to lack of their ignorance, a lack of their knowledge, who are their ignorant people, and I want them to realize why I do the things that I do. Okay, so when they separate the white people back in Virginia, okay, due to my long distance cousin Nathaniel Bacon, okay, they was trying to cause the white during service, how white privilege came in. They made race and class come together. The white people who are now became the slave patrol. Okay, that's what some of y'all police, that's all this shooting and all this what happened. That's the mentality that comes from the police department, from the slave patrol. Also, too, they was out to get anybody who escaped the plantation. It was overseers. They mentality changed and they used their white ideology, even if they were poor, to make them feel that they were better than the slaves. That's why even in the South, during even the Depression, you had white people still didn't have nothing. Still felt that they were better than the Negroes or color folks in the South who had more than them. Okay, it just, their mentality. Okay, so what they said, they had anti-mixing laws. That's what the blood quantum come in. That's what the one drop rule comes in. They had an idea if you had 1-4 this and that, you were no longer considered white. You were considered black. They were trying to stop the black and native and white mixing. They were trying to do all they can because they knew that all that mixing. I mean, come on. If everybody had mixed up, which it did later on, they couldn't stop because you can't stop human nature like that. That you cannot tell who is who. Everybody will be related. Yeah, it might be dark, or maybe even look like a pit white person, but 9 10 you cousins, and 9 10 that's gonna you're gonna look past color and you're gonna see that person for who they are as an individual. They didn't want to see that happening, so they made the one drop rule do slavery. But people arguing down say that the one drop rule was not until Jim Crow, which is very true. But the origin started when they said the condition of the mother. If your mother is a slave, you are a slave. You know what I'm saying? So that's why all this raping happened. Okay? That's why the white men who did that felt that they were the black women and mulatto, mixed race, even black, Native American, or triracial women were their property, and they can do whatever they want to do. So when people bring up the one drop rule and bash me for claiming same time you claiming white blood, I look at them stupid because they're the one who's helping the rape. The origin of the interracial rape was in being sex slaves and sex camps and all that other stuff, and buck breaking. Either they raped the men too, was to keep the white men on top and the people of color, African descent, at the bottom. But at the doggone same time, it was also to keep mixing continue. They even made the slaves rape each other and them ask this question. No, for real. Because back in the day, if I was reading skin color politics, color complex skin color politics about among African Americans, I read that book back in the late 90s or early 2000s. And they did say that one period of time was with the idea about the black man raping the white woman. They will actually, if a white woman was just doing something wrong, the slave master will actually make the black male slaves rape her. Exactly, it is said in the book. But in this situation, in order to keep slaves coming on a plantation, if they couldn't afford a slave, let's say that they couldn't go to auction and buy a slave. They couldn't go on an they couldn't afford to buy an auction because the high paid slaves, let's say, well, yeah, the strongest, especially the hyper masculine men, y'all think to know this. The reason why you feel so hyper masculine, but the funny part, you don't use that hyper masculine in your mentality wise. That's why the community is weak. Though, don't blame all the sisters for that mess. Yeah, if you so hyper, you actually use that higher masculine to build the community and shape the community and fight against the racism, not trying to bitch and moan about it and discourage other brothers and trying to clown who's gay, who's straight. It's that bullshit. That's how to cuss like that, but it gets on my damn nerves. They made you higher masculine so you can work the field. You can build stuff in their community, do it for your behind. That's called like it is. So all that alpha male, beta male stuff y'all trying to do, y'all act funny yet you want to be alpha male by strength, but beta male in the mind. That's what the whole reason why we still stuck in the ruckus, because people like that do not contribute to the community. They give you information, but they're not trying to purposely find ways to stop racism. And they're trying to defend white supremacy when it comes to one drop rule. Because the one drop rule was made for the white men to benefit from it, not us. Let's call it like it is. So, anyway, so going back to the situation, the reason why I'm bringing this up. When they had the mixing, the slave rape and everything, being raped and everything, that was cause to each baby of any complexion, even if it looked like a white person, to be a slave on a plantation, so they can work the field, they can be part of it. So when y'all use that one drop rule and claim it's for unity, are you talking about unity as in us all as being a part of it, y'all? Because the stupid thing keep on going off. But the point is, the whole idea is to keep us controlled by somebody else while we fighting that person. And those who defend one drop rule don't realize that. So when I was reading about this, I read that and that's wondering where did this stupid rule come from. Well, it's funny about we don't know who came up with it. We know it was some white people who came up with it, but it's funny we don't know the actual person that did it. Because I always say if I knew it first, I go in that grave and spit on it, okay? Because it was used to hurt us, not to help us. And I always look at people who love the one drop rule as slaves that whine about being a slave. But when you have the idea and they're intimidated by this to get out of slavery, while you're trying to encourage them or even say, come on with me, get out of slavery, they're the ones trying to go back and tell massa and also defend massa to keep you down because they themselves don't feel love for themselves. Because if they did love themselves, they'll fight for their freedom. They see themselves as a free person. They actually would not let the oppressor determine them. They wouldn't let it affect them. It will affect them, of course, because we're all human. But they're trying to find a solution and a conclusion to the problem, not try to go along with it and then try to attack the person who's going against it. And so, which they don't have no hope in their own selves. That let you know that they feel they're hopeless. They don't really no love in themselves. So they're not. They don't feel that what's help, to help themselves out. So when it comes to the one drop rule, this rule was made after slavery, of course, when it came to be national. Okay, and the states had their own versions of it, but they started to actually make it legit when 1920 census was already done. Like when I was checking my mentioned the third great grandfather, it's funny they list him as white, list him as black. He looked white because he died in 1954, as my great grandfather said. But his son, who's my great grandfather's dad, was listed as mulatto, and that's the one his grandpa Red's dad is the one who has a mama who's black black Spanish Creole. Okay, this means she was 19 mixed with black and Spanish because her dad was Real, not Rouse. They changed that when she was born, but the rest of the records I saw, they list him as Real, which is Spanish. Okay, and then they said that on the census, it said he was born in 1847. And his parents from both from Louisiana, which makes sense because Louisiana was owned by the Spanish in 1700s, and then the French took over from Canada, and and mixing and all that other stuff. So that's the whole reason why a lot of folks don't know the history, and it's sad that I have to repeat myself all the time when people come on VO and with them ignorant people, should I say? But as we're going on with the situation, so one drop rule was also made for segregation. Since many white people in the government didn't want people of anybody African descent have freedom, okay, and they used this. They had their separate but equal, which is because there was no equality in segregation. You had out there books, even if you build your own town like it has in Tulsa, Oklahoma, they're burning, okay, in Rosewood, okay. They didn't want you to advance anything. That's why the NAACP said the National Advancement of Color, Associated Advancement of Color People, okay. They want you to be the grade. They want you to be in the grading moment, okay. That's why a lot of folks do not know that when they defend the misery in our community, they're the one who are the coon. It's not someone who's complaining, trying to get out the misery, okay? So when the one drop rule came in, okay, a lot of folks know we was all united. That's not true. You had in black school, color schools, the lightest one, that's where we got this mentality, because our grandparents was in this situation as well, and our great-grandparents. The lightest one was elevated, was expected to be educated, expected to be beautiful in pageants and cheerleading, and the darkest one was expected to be young. Yeah, there were dark-skinned people who went against this stereotype, but you see why, like, even when I go in places and I meet my brothers, there's high yellow brothers who, don't get wrong, the brothers lighter than me who are downgraded and ghetto and ratchet, but the stereotype people choose to sometimes or enforce those stereotypes on someone else, especially when they come from childhood. So that's why you see people portray stereotypes. I mean, they're real. It's they've been taught or been brainwashed or been influenced to portray it, okay? And I'm not making a huge generalization, but it's sad. It's sadly so typical that you would see a brother who is educated who is wealthy, and he 910, it could be my shade, but 910, especially they're lighter than me with a net less curly, with less red Afro texture hair. The brother who's extremely darker than me with kinky hair, you see them as ghetto, ratchet, thugging, fighting, always want to do wrong and want to bully people. That happens with white lighter skinned brothers too. Don't get wrong, but it's sad that we bring our head and we meet people who portray that. I'll give you an example. Okay, we're gonna use two people I do not like in the media who are both different shades of me. Okay, Jerry Minks. Notice that they went to Jerry Minks to go get him a modeling contract once he got out of jail. Okay, doggone thing is on my nerves. Okay, I need to change the security thing of this thing because I have a blocker on my security. Alright, I do apologize. Thank God. Okay, good. I had to stop that screen cutting off. It's security block every 30 minutes, every 3 minutes, so I had to stop that mess. Okay. So the real reason why I'm glad it resumed. Thank God for YouTube. We got a new, the app updated resume. So what I was saying, so we use two people that I don't like, who are both different shades of me. Jeremy Minks and Kodak Black. Now you know in this whole racist country, when they begged Jerry Minks to get out of prison, okay, and Jerry Minks got a modeling contract, and he's seen as a good-looking man, and he's really likable with the green eyes, and I did people thumb down my video, which didn't care because there's many of us who are his shade and those who are not his shade. Whether it be his shade lighter, his complexion, even look more Caucasian than he do. To those who are darker, like myself, darker than him, and those who are darker than me, who's like a Wesley Snipes complexion, who are not to sound gay or anything, who are good-looking brothers who try to get in the industry, who try to put photos, to trying to get into the industry. Even it's not just the mainstream, mostly white dominant. It's even within our own community. Who we don't get any callbacks, they are trying to find something on us, if we can be going to the gym, we can be using facials, getting mani pity, getting, trying to get that metrosexual look so we can actually get into the business and make money and sell, because we're not just we do it for ourselves, but we're also doing it for the money. You do what you like to do your own stuff, you make money, you're gonna love your job and your career. Well, we try to get in that situation, and they throw our photos in the trash. They tell they're not interested. They, smile and face and lie. They're interested and try to get scammers for money and stuff. He don't go for that, okay? But when it comes to Kodak Black, and even as an artist, I sing. I don't do that thugging, call myself a nigga, and thug life and all that old ghetto ratchet stuff, and I get condemned with this. When people talk about thugs, especially those who are white, I laugh because y'all don't want someone like Kodak Black to be a thug. It fits your idea of black inferiority and white supremacy. That's called like it is. Well, hold up, y'all. Let me do something. This whole stupid thing gets on my nerves. Okay, alright, y'all. So hope we got this stuff straight. Hope this thing won't block me again. Yeah, security check thing on that because I have it blocked on there in case there's no activity. So I guess that's when I'm talking, it doesn't show the activity. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Okay, well, let's get to this side. So point is, so you have people who within the industry, they're promoting gangster rap. It's been going on since I was a teenager, and they want to see the negative ghetto thug, call yourself a nigga, drug dealing, beating women, that type of thing. They want to see the animalistic people of African Americans, especially that complexion. And what happened is you're gonna say, well, they try to get Kodak Black. Well, but if Kodak Black was a Calvin Klein model, if Kodak Black was a regular brother, they're not doing him like they did Demario Jackson, who Demario Jackson, he cut shades lighter. He was accused of going with that white woman, raping that white woman, and they went off of him like that. They're not trying to stop, get petition to get him out of jail, if he was going to jail, okay? They're not ain't doing that to Bill Cosby, okay? But they did that to keep him out of jail. The white man from, which I have a side eye with that white man from Atlantic Records, came to the courtroom trying to say he's 19, he's trying to get his life together so he can sing that trashy music promoting someone that Colin Falter would like to put on his news show. Let's call it like it is, okay? And to those who got offended by Kodak Black saying that he don't want no black woman unless they're lighter than him, please, sisters, stop, okay? If a man that look like that, let's say he was light skinned, okay? Let's say he looked like Jerry Mix and just looked ratchet, okay, as hell. Would you want to go with that? I don't know what is y'all thirsty ass people go anything that walks. Learn to have some damn standards. If a person don't fit your, sorry to cuss here, your fucking standards, please rejoice. And I'm glad I started seeing some sisters rejoicing. I guess y'all watch my videos because y'all all over said, yes, we're glad we don't want your ugly ass. I know y'all want to say that. You mean, call like this, he pregnant, don't get wrong, I'm not sound gay. If he didn't look all that ratchet, he can be a handsome, dark chocolate bro, okay? But he purposely chose to be the Sambo, and he used it as a marketing tool to be the Stephen Fletcher of 2017. It's called like it is, okay? If you know your history, you know exactly what I'm going through, okay? So, the reason I'm bringing it up because both of these men of African descent, okay? I know you're going to say that Jerry Mix is mixed and Kodak Black is black, although we don't know Kodak Black's a full ancestry because you can't sit there and say because someone's dark skinned and say they 100% black. When we, in my own family, I have people that say complexion to those who have the Jerry Mix complexion as well. A lot of us in our community do, okay? Because we're not pure black people, we're mixed race people, black DNA. It's called like this. Then we come different shades and hair texture and all other stuff, and hair texture that's thick and thin, you know. So, you know, so arguing with some sister on social media about that, you know, because she says she's she don't got no, ain't got nothing to do with her thin kinky hair. The reason why it's thin, not thick like it's supposed to be with kinky hair is because that white DNA thin your doggone thin hair out. That's all it is. We were talking about that because what's that man name? Because I'm starting to get known by his videos. The dark skin bro with the bacon with the good curly hair. No, you know what I mean. I'm making a joke. Negrito Grande going to Mexico and going to the African-looking Mexican women who are dark like him with that loose curl. All right, let's call it like it is. So, point is, okay, now the Barry charger thing, app is acting fool me too. Okay, so point is, so you want to sit here and go to Mexico and talk about these women can grow hair and black women in states where weave and making it. And when I saw something, I'm sorry, Negrito, I knew that you was a coon. I'm called like it is. I know it's a different subject. The reason I bash Negrito Grande, even I don't use the word Negrito when I speak Spanish, okay? That's being sarcastic, okay? I don't call myself Negrito, call myself Morenito Mixto, okay? And Negrito Grande, you go to Mexico and find women who have kinky hair, okay, which they are in Mexico, they do have that, even though they're not known in Mexico to have, okay, and you want to make that argument about weave extensions when actually it's a bunch of sisters with naturally kinky hair or with a permanent hair or with naturally curly, wavy, straight hair, dark and light, because we're not pure, like you're dark skin with kinky hair, with loose curly hair with a ponytail, which is natural and no permanent hair. We're not pure race. We're mixed. Just like in Mexico, they're mixed. And to sit here to bash sisters, I like long hair too, okay? But instead of trying to teach sisters to get coconut oil, rosemary oil, AdWords Global pills, to teach them to hot oil their hair, instead of trying to be more loving and caring way and encourage them, and then go to the States and meet sisters of all shades, even the one that's dark on that's on that about your complexion in that video. And instead of you going to those sisters here in America, we have a lot of here in the United States, just like your dark skin with curly hair, not kinky hair. We have sisters with your complexion with naturally straight hair, okay, since we're not a pure race. Instead of going to sisters who actually grew their hair out and have kinky hair texture, flat iron, perm, or red natural, once you show that and try to give you advices instead of demonizing the women who wear weave. And then too, instead of making that stereotype, because I'm getting annoyed with that stereotype, It's a bunch of white women and Hispanic women and other women who are not considered black or are not black at all, because you know what I mean, because the Latinos do have African DNA and they mean to do, who do wear weave, who don't look black or who are not black at all, who do wear weave extensions, and you're making this, because in Hollywood, where you're from in California, it's a bunch of white women who wear extensions. Like I was telling the sister about the thin hair situation, a lot of white women wear weave in their hair because their hair is naturally thin. There are those with thick hair, do them some mixture, maybe some Native American, Asian, or maybe some black mixture, whatever. But it's typically known for white women to have thin, straight hair, wavy, straight, thin hair, because their hair is so thin. So they'll put extensions in their hair and weave in their hair to thicken their hair out. Okay. And then too, even though Shakira is mixed with Colombian and Lebanese, her recent video that came out last year with Maluma, she takes a weave off in the restroom. Excuse me. I was watching um, Chitaje, yeah, Chitaje, that's the name of the song. Okay, in the movie, I mean, the video Chitaje, she takes her weave off in there. So, and she wear extensions. So you know, and Britney Spears wear extensions. You have Madonna wear extensions. You have Jessica Simpson and Paris Hilton. They both sell extensions. Okay, and wear extensions. You have Kesha. You have Lady Gaga. I mean, I'm giving you names. Listen to Gomez. You have Jennifer Lopez. You know, it's stupid to make those assumptions and try to bash sisters when in factly you're not telling sisters how to grow hair, because you can, because every person grows the same way. I learned this in Cavatage and also on Goldman catalog. The problem is the kinkier hair texture dries out the scalp, and the scalp does not get the moisture, like, you know, like they say put grease. When grease clogs your scalp, no, I suggest oil. If you put oil in your hair and you're conditioning, you're trimming your hair. That's why my hair was breaking out, because I wasn't getting trimmed. Okay, I get scared to cut the hair. I feel like Samson, and now I'm learning my lesson. Okay, you trim the ends, the split ends, and all that stuff. You do all that, it's gonna grow how you want it to grow. You drink a lot of water. You know, you take hair pills with 5,000 biotin in it. You know, that's exactly what you do. Okay, it's what Edwards Global. I just bought some hair pills. It's not from Edwards Global. From she was within my budget on eBay, and it's 5,000 biotin, and that actually same amount that the biotin that I take about using Edwards Global pills. They actually grew my hair out. You know, y'all saw last year when my hair was down to my shoulders and stuff, almost to my shoulder. Okay, thank you. So let you know. Okay, sorry. The battery charger on this thing, because I have a battery charger app, and it's getting on my nerves. Okay, so I guess when it drains out, that's when it starts to ask me this stuff. Okay. I'm about to fix check the phone, because I was trying to. This is an app on Google Play that, you know, keeps your battery not overcharged, like not overcharged, but like draining the battery. So let's get to the subject. So the problem is a lot of y'all do not do y'all research, and you let people in the community who go by hearsay and myths and stereotypes, and that's why you see a lot of sisters with. They've been told, sorry y'all, this is a stupid thing. I'm gonna have to charge it out till it starts to run out. They've been told that if they wear extensions, I mean, if they cannot grow hair because their hair texture is so-called damp, I hate that word, but it actually is untrue. You have people with long dreads, you have people with big froze up to here, okay? So, I mean, a lot of folks are not, if they get out that mindset, that you know that they can grow their own hair and wear their hair like that, but to each his own. But to sit here and degrade sisters for wearing weave when other races, and yeah, it may be their hair. No. Thomas Neal, shut up. Okay. Point is, there are people with different hair textures, and even when it comes to Latinas, because they have curly and wavy hair because of that mixture in their family trees. You have those who actually get relaxers in their hair. I know one Mexican girl who don't even mention she has some black in it, but she loves some dark skinned brother. Okay, because she's my 19 long distance cousins. That's her boyfriend. Okay, she gets a relaxer in her hair because her hair is curly. I know many Mexican and other Latinas who wear weave extensions. You can access to go into hair salon and hair beauty stores, and you'll see them buying weave. I remember forget when I was buying some hair products for my hair. On Barbara and Belfer, a Latina was going on the day, I never forget, and she was telling the African woman who owned the shop, I ain't trying to tell their business out there, back in 2014 or 2015, and I think by the 99-cent store, and she said, I'm going on the day, I need this type of color weave, this and let's expect woman, okay? And I said, well, I'm going to ask her, said, is that your hair? She said, no, that's not my hair. That's a weave and mixed in my own hair. Okay, but you can tell that if her hair, was she in a straight weave, not until her hair is curly, she's flat ironing it, or she's relaxing it, not staying in a long period of time. Those who are straight curly hair have to, it ought to straighten out. So I went to college for 1 semester, okay, and it was in Vega, which I'm glad the doctor took me off in Vega. I asked him because it was stopping me from studying, didn't want to study. I easily, get worried when I was schizophrenic disorder at the time, and I did not pass when I was, But now I think maybe if I want to get my bachelor's, I'm gonna go for cosmetology if I have the chance. Okay, but it is what it is. Never too old to learn. Okay, you never know you might need for money. You know, lose that business and go to the next business. That's what I'm thinking in my head right now since I'm a single man and almost 40. So porn is. I might become a cop, what I'm saying? You never know these days, just trying to, because I work in security, I was just trying to, up my, because I don't want to be living on someone else's rules and living on someone else's stupid ideology and living on someone else's house, either with my own. Hopefully if I get married, you don't be an old man getting married, still, what my kids have better than what I have, okay? So, and my wife. So, porn, let's get to the subject. So that's, I won't go details here, but just the Grito Grande needs to get that way because I'm very tired of you cooning to make fun to demonizing sisters when actually you should be, if you want long hair so bad, then once you just go with that Mexican woman, the darker chocolate Afro Mexican woman down there with curly hair and just call it quits. Leave it alone, okay? I mean, you don't have to demonize talking about long hair. I mean, like, you never seen a sister with long hair. I have relatives who have long hair or who are sisters. My own grandmother, my dad's side, one time had long hair, okay? And I had an auntie on my mom's side who had long hair, and I mean, it's just my mom's sister. I mean, it's kind of weird that people will make these stupid assumptions, okay? And I had friends who are sisters, even dark skinned sisters who had a relaxing their hair, had their hair past their shoulder, and all I touched it and went through the fingers of it. Like, okay, so don't I mean, I just get tired that we put stereotypical expectation bullshit on social media to get propaganda when it's actually used to hurt us. So a lot of folks don't get that, but I do. I want that about this, but I don't defend stereotypical behavior. I bash it, okay? And I try to advocate uniqueness and being individualistic and not being collective, because people who love to be collective love to portray stereotypes and get mad at white people who are racist who use them against them, which is the stupidest thing in the world. You don't want to promote it, don't do it, okay? And don't attack those who are going against the stereotypes, okay? But it is what it is. So going back to the multiracial identity, let's go back to the subject. So in the doing the one drop rule that was using to keep Africans and people of any shape, any mixture at the bottom, okay? So a lot of people, and what really got people so happy about this rule was a coon, and I call him a coon, named Marcus Garvey. And I know people bash me because his idea is like a whistleblower to keep you in your place, okay? And I'm glad W. Du Bois called him out and called him dangerous and told him he was frauding people, which he was, okay? That's why a lot of white people who claim to be not racist, which I know they're lying their teeth, will use his ideology to tell us how to live our lives when actually we're free people. Then it means you need to stay out of my damn business. I don't need nobody in my damn business. Even my own mama, they'll tell me to do it if I'm a free person. Don't tell me how to run my damn life. I can come begging and asking for it, okay? So, you have people like that going on. And why I'm bringing this up? Because people don't know the historical reason why. During that black nationalist movement, okay? Remember, Garvey took ideas from the Klan, because it was a meeting with the Klan, and where he thanked the Ku Klux Klan for segregation. he bashed the NAACP because it was promoting integration, civil rights. Many were mixed race people like W.E. Du Bois, Walter White. They didn't like the fact that they was telling people African descent there is a vision to be free, and people try to use pride and freedom in two different boxes, but actually it gets hand. When you're proud of yourself, you practice your freedom. When you're ashamed of yourself, you practice what you people want out of you, want to restrain you. You feel like you're less than a person when you don't practice your freedom and honor it. And a lot of us, I laugh and people call me the self-hater when I'm advocating freedom, and freedom is part of my pride in myself. Causing restraints based on someone else's stupidity, call like it is self-hate, because the person that truly hates you do not want you to be free. And a lot of y'all don't see that, the concept I do, okay? And you might call it selfish, but no, it's the other person who's advocating this is being selfish because they want you to live for them, not you live for yourself. A lot of folks don't understand that. So in this situation, when it happened, a lot of the people who are, you see that animalistic, mean-spirited, militant, angry attitude, because it's no different than Fiddler, okay? Because in the movie Roots, when Kunta Kinte come out of Africa, he's very proud of himself. He don't like the condition he in. He knows he's self-worth. He wants to get out of the plantation. It was old good old boy, Fiddler, who called himself a nigger, who did not actually speak the King English. Yeah, he had to speak English, but it was a broken English that the white people wanted him to speak in order to sound ghetto, aka so-called Ebonics. And he made fun and say, you're a nigger, and as long as I have my freedom, I'm good. And a lot of folks understand, when I was dealing with that mess at the rodeo with the white woman, and the guy was harassing me at the end of the rodeo, a lot of my people, even though my shade and lighter, was telling me don't lose your money as long as you got blah, this and that. And remind me of the movie Roots when Fiddler said that stuff to Kunta Kinte, because I feel like this, I'd rather be dead, or I'd rather be not only poor, but I'd rather be without of drama and abuse and oppression. I'd rather be out there, even if I have to lose something to gain it back, than to be in a situation and not gain nothing and be abused and be mistreated and lied on for a paycheck. Okay, because it's called self-dignity. That's why you see folks on ghetto gaggers, they don't have no dignity in themselves, why they stupid enough to go on ghetto gaggers, okay? So, but those 9-10, if I say I'm mixed, they will harass me down, call me a self-hater, and call me a coon when they the one who are the biggest coon, because I would not participate, if it had a gay version, or if it had a female version of female version of ghetto guy, me licking a woman's vagina, and she called me the N-word, and her using my Cocoa Mix BBC, and she called me Nicky Dick, and all like that old dead bitch said on it on me and take out that car I talked about last time, okay? So them brothers don't have those dignity to call themselves niggas. They stupid. When they mentally weak, they don't want who have themselves. They just use their dick, their melody, and their strength, which they don't know how to use it properly, to attack other brothers who don't use that mess, who know they're a man when they look in the mirror when they go use the restroom and take a bath. But these men want to exaggerate what a man is, and they don't do nothing in the community with the same masculine ability. Kind of weird, okay? So they weak about that. They bitch about the women, but if they men, then won't they take the woman's role, take the woman away from her and take over the community with their high masculine strength. You can worry about what other men do. If you're a man, worry about your own ass and worry about what other man does, right? Okay. Point is, you're not into men. Kind of weird. But anyway, but we get the subject. So a lot of them in our community, it was a whistleblower stay in your place when he heard Godfreyism. It was, well, since I am Negro, or since I am color or black, I should be in a proper place to stay away from master whooping me, or beating, or killing me. If I do try to go with a white woman, if I do try to go in the counter, eat, drink, or whatever at a white water fountain, I should be think that master don't want me to do that because I'm doing whatever he tells me to do. That's what I see out of Garvey's. Oh, if I straighten my hair like master. Let me explain something about straightening hair. A lot of folks say self-hate when it's not always self-hate. The people who made the relaxer was not a white person. It was a black named American man who also made this traffic stop. King Gerd Mark and everything. The thing he made the traffic stop. And problem is, what a lot of folks don't understand, that when white people see me with my relaxed hair, those who don't like it, it's called competition. They don't like the fact somebody they think is emulated, which actually it can't be an emulation because I don't look like them, but I am related to them since we do have white DNA. I do have white DNA on both my mom and dad's side. It's down Trim Tree. So they don't like the fact someone they think less of is competing with them. The idea of slavery, one drop rule, and Jim Crow, and even abortion industry and eugenics was to stop the person. On time you were safe, when you're submissive and obedient to white master. But once you start to step out their road and be competitive with them, they're scared. A lot of folks understand, and I had to agree with Jeanette, with Jeanette Pirro, where even though I don't like her stuff on Fox News, but when she was on her court dates, okay, and she right, they had a sister who came there. Two sisters were arguing about weave and cultural assimilation and all black folks should be engaged. That situation, great. About the woman was coming to. You probably seen the episode. And Jeanette or Janine, whatever her name is, Judge Pirro was correct. She said if a woman accepting a man's role, she's not going to be submissive and docile. She has to go along with the team, okay? So in the corporate world, okay, and I'm not saying that you should stop wearing dreadlocks. I think that, in my opinion, as a liberal, you should be able to wear the dreadlocks long as neat, just like the white man have his hair neat. If it's all bushy, he shouldn't come to work looking bushy either, okay? But if you want to straighten your hair, that is your freedom of choice. It's not it's not nobody's business, like it's nobody's business to tell a white man to darken his skin. It's silly when people make fun of people of color doing it for have kinky hair. But no one doesn't stop the white people who go to Jamaica. Because I remember my aunt on my dad's side told me this. Me and the white was getting braids. And then my aunt is a couple of shades darker than me. And those same white women was getting tans to get my aunt's complexion. The same white women was getting their hair braided in Jamaica. Because no, I went to Bahamas. Well, still, in the Caribbean, a lot of these white people tan their complexions, put dreads in their hair, yeah, okay. It's weird that no one don't harass them. Well, they wouldn't oppress. It doesn't matter. If they have rights, we should have rights to do what the hell we want to do individually. You don't like what I do, they call it's a grown up thing to do. Mind your damn business and worry about your own life. So, if I'm in the like for example, I went to a Hispanic school. And I had Spanish roots in my family, Spanish Creole roots. I know that till last year. But I went to a Hispanic school. And a lot of the folks did not like me, those folks in African American and white African descent and who are not pure black at all, and white and Hispanics didn't like me because I knew that if I'm in a school, it is a do like the Romans do. And I had to learn Spanish. I had to, it was not just I had to, my great aunt even told me to learn Spanish on my dad's side before she died back in '93. It was, you had to know, had to be global, universal. I knew that there was going to be not a money making thing, but it also was going to help you out to be in the world. Like even when I did okay, we got to charge this phone, y'all. Put this thing back on, the stupid thing. It's fine when I have the charger on, we want to act funny. Okay. Okay. So